Good morning everyone, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to episode 2 of Euro Truck Diaries. So, just to give you a brief explanation as to why we're in a different truck. So at the end of the last episode I was contacted by the bank and they said that they would like to give me more money. Who doesn't love to hear that, right? So yeah, they gave me some more money. Not loads more. I think they offered me quite substantially more, but I didn't want to get too stacked into debt, so I borrowed about another 150 grand and went into the used truck market, and I was able to get this used next gen DAF XG. I think it's got about 100,000 kilometres on it, so basically just about run in really. So the Mercedes has been given to another driver, which I've been able to hire, and so yeah, basically now the mission is grow the company some more and decide whether or not we want to buy another trailer. So let's hit the road and we'll have a chat. We're taking a load of pallets at the moment up to Nuremberg. Get going. So yeah, we're currently in Munich and we're heading off to Nuremberg to drop these pallets off, and then we'll decide what we do in terms of buying our own trailer. Better. Right, let's get on the road. Yeah, so I went for the next gen DAF because it was one of the more advanced modern trucks you could get in the used market. So in terms of fuel efficiency and things like that, it's the best thing to have for the new company, right? So that's why I went for it. Let's get on the road up here. There we go. That's better. Yeah, so I went for this one because it's better for the fuel efficiency. Obviously it's a newer truck, so it's in better condition. I think this one is actually a 5-star condition used truck, so but for a hefty premium off of the new price, so can't really complain. So yeah, that was the rationale behind that thinking. So yeah, we've now got 3 trucks, obviously, including this one, and 2 drivers working for us, but we've only got 1 trailer, which is a flatbed at the moment. Now, predominantly, the company will be doing refrigerated loads. That's what we want to do. So it's probably going to be a while before we can buy our own refrigerated trailer. I've been toying with the idea about whether or not to buy a curtain sider, but I found an interesting mod that will effectively make one of the wheels and curtain siders look quite old and used, effectively giving you the impression of buying a used trailer. So it's an idea I'm toying with at the moment. So I just want to see with that one whether or not it's going to be a little bit too silly to do that or not. So that's the thinking behind it, just to try and add a little bit more realism. Obviously you saw yesterday 1.57 beta dropped, and the new Scanias are out, so I'm toying with the idea of upgrading to test that. But then the trouble is, if I do that, this series has to then wait because I've got Pro mods and everything else, so it's going to have to catch up. And it obviously won't work with the new beta version, so I'm a little bit like, can't really do that then, which is a shame. Because there are other features of open beta that I wouldn't mind trying, but at the end of the day I want to make sure that we do keep this series going, because it is a fun series, for me at least. Hopefully everyone else is enjoying it, but just showing you how you build up a business under a more challenging economy. I mean, it's not massively more challenging, but it is certainly more than normal. Like this load, for example, instead of being probably 10 or 12 grand, is actually only 4. It's only paying me 4 grand, so you know, it's better. Also as well, with the realistic economy mod, when you do take a loan from the bank, you actually get realistic payments, because that's the one thing that SCS's loans have never been that realistic. Insofar as you borrow 500 grand but you're expected to pay 5 grand a day back, wouldn't happen in real life. So the economy sorts out the loans more realistically, so that instead of paying for 500 grand, you know, if you borrow 400 or 500 grand, you're not paying 5 grand back a day. You're paying like 200 quid. You know, it's like, well, that's more realistic. Obviously, the loans do take longer to pay off that way, granted, but it just gives that little bit extra realism to it, and doesn't make it so much of a slog, you know. So anyway, another story for you from real life. Literally yesterday, I was coming back from taking my daughter to the doctors, and was following a low loader, and I noticed he didn't have a number plate at the back of his trailer. Now, in the UK, the trailers aren't registered like they are in Europe. So in Europe, the trailers have their own registration, their own number plates. In the UK, they don't have that. In the UK, you have to put the registration plate from the truck onto the trailer as well. And anyway, this truck was in front of me, this low loader. He didn't have a number plate on the back of his trailer. Now, kind of told me two things there. which is one, he didn't do his walk around checks potentially when he hooked up that trailer, or two, his number plate's fallen off and he's not aware. You know, either way, the fine for that over here is quite significant. So if you do, you know, become a lorry driver over here in the UK, don't put yourself in jeopardy like that. When you put a number plate on a trailer, make sure it's on there securely. And if the number plate holder on the trailer is loose and you think, oh, that's a bit wobbly, that could probably fall out, defect the trailer, don't take it. It's your license at the end of the day. That would be my advice to you. But yeah, it's just little things like that you can see out on the roads, and suddenly it, you know, changes the whole perspective on a day. Because that's the other thing, if you haven't done your walk around checks properly, your tacho is supposed to show at the start of every day at least 15 minutes. As a rule of thumb, I always do 17, where you've done the walk around checks of your vehicle. So 15 to 17 minutes of other work at the start of your day before you've even gone out and done any driving. You don't take the truck anywhere without checking it over. And as boring as mundane as those checks can be, it can save lives. And it's your arse if you take a truck on the road, you haven't done a proper walk around check, you haven't marked off any defects or whatever, and then you end up having an accident which causes a fatality. You're going to prison for negligence, along with everything else. So don't make a rod for your own back. So we are taking this. Interestingly, it seems to a Hamburg Süd. There's a container yard there. There's a petrol refinery. There we go. There we go. Right. Come on, old girl. This is only a 460 actually, it's not a 480 or a 530, so it's not got loads of power. But again, wanted to keep that for authenticity, because to start off with, you're not going to be able to grab the bigger horsepower trucks, you know. Well, not brand new ones anyway. So let's truck them in. Excuse me. There we go. Let's see where they want it. We're over the back there. We'll back it right up to that ramp too. That'll be interesting. Swing it around. So we've got to try and line it up with that ramp. Alright, here we go. So you don't want to make things too difficult for yourself. Let's get into a line, a straight line there. Alright. Back it on up. Yeah, you don't want to make things too difficult for yourself, but at the same time, you don't want to miss the start of that ramp. You want to get that on there. Bump it up. I've never ever seen a drop that would be like this, so I've got to be honest. Now we've got to be careful because that trailer could well dip off the other side in a minute. In fact, it looks mighty close to me to doing that, so I'm going to come forward. Yeah, I thought we were. Just got to come real close to that. Now we're back up because we're going at an angle, you see, so just turn the trailer a little bit. Just let it roll. Make sure you get on that ramp. There you go, because you do not want to come off the other side of that and have the trailer just bang down. If you're not what it weighs, 20 odd ton, you really don't want that. Just keep checking in your mirror, that's it. Make your head round, there we go, we're pretty much straight now. So we'll wet and neutral, wet the handbrake on, just have a look. Yeah, look at that. Bang on the money. Right, so that's now there, which is good. So let's have a look on the freight market, let's see what else is around. Because what I want to try and do is head west. Because obviously at the moment the main garage is out of Munich, but realistically there's a skin and everything else that I've got where I want to run the trucks out of Ireland potentially. So yeah, so I'm looking to try and sort of head west. There's a load of diesel going to Plymouth, which I suppose I could pick up and take. Rome, Malmo, Florence, Eindhoven, we could go north. Bremerhaven, where's that? Oh, so a little port up there. Terrain forklifts, empty barrels. Well, to be fair, we haven't been into Czechoslovakia yet. That's what I do like with Pro Mods is we've got some nice. What's that? UA? Is that Ukraine? Taking some Scania trucks into Ukraine. Interesting. A bit iffy. Ice cream to Donbass in Norway. Wow, that is going very far north. That's a long old run. Sealed bearings. Let's go to Serbia. So this is where we need our own trailer really. So you've got DFDS, carbonated water, that's going all the way up to Malmo. Rosenhake to Florence. Probably not the best, because that's going south. Clermont, that's the south of France. Empty barrels to Dresden. Electrical wiring. So it's already around the other side of town though, isn't it? That is the other nightmare. Radiators to Perpignan, that's all the way down to South France. Stonewater, Helsingborg. I think we take the sealed bearings. It's a little bit different. I don't think we've done much in Slovakia yet. Right, let's go. Go and pick that up. It's only around the corner. get on the road. As you can see at the moment, I haven't put light bars or anything like that on the truck because realistically I'm not certain that I would necessarily keep these trucks. Realistically, I want to go with the Volvos, the new FH6 Aeros, but obviously haven't come across any yet in the used market, and I haven't unlocked a Volvo dealer to go and buy one yet, so I'm loath to do these up because I don't think we'll be keeping them, if you know what I mean. Plus, if I'm going to move the depot over to the UK, I need, or even Ireland, I need to make sure that they're actually right-hand drive. So yeah, probably won't do anything there. I don't know, to be all honest. Still deciding, but this is where you guys can have your input. Where do you think we should set up base? Should we stay in Germany? Should we move to Spain? Because what I need to do is get a skin for the company concerned. So that's the plan. That is the plan. But ideally we want to do refrigerated transport. So we'll see. We will see. Right, here we go. Marking up at LKW. Right, let's see what we got. So there's the Hackney, there's the steel wall. So let's do only seal bearers in this. Let's take that actually. Good old TSM. Oh, it's 24. Done now. Interesting. There it is. On the bay. So we'll go and back that up. And go and grab that. Just lower the air a little bit on the boat. And line the mud flaps up with the edge of the trailer. Should be under it now. So whack the air up. There we go. Tug test. Alright, let's try that. Level out the air and let's hit the road. Ooh, that's heavy. Yeah, you can feel the weight of that one. That's definitely heavy. Going east with this one, so despite me saying I want to head west, we're going east, we're going in the polar opposite direction, but sometimes you are limited with the deliveries that you can do. So, and we haven't been there, so it's all about discovery as well, new places. I do love Pro Mods, it just massively improves the map. It's probably one of the best mods that money can buy, and it's really cheap, really cheap. It's £2, it's nothing. So worth having, so worth it. Get going now, let's get up that road. Go and get this load delivered as well. I'll try and do this delivery in this episode as well. And then yeah, just explain a little bit more about what's gonna be coming in future episodes, because obviously as we grow the company, we've got decisions to make. Do we grow the garage larger, expand it so we can have more drivers there, or do we simply say, well, wait a minute, let's just keep that one a small garage and go and start another garage somewhere else? You know, these are all decisions we have to make. And the thing is as well, is what I want to do is bring in lease trucks into this, which you know, lease trucks are going to be slightly different, because they're going to be all white. They won't have a skin on them to indicate that they are lease trucks. They'll be fleet specs, so they won't have Alcoa wheels or anything like that on them. So it'll give you guys a different sort of tone and feeling to it. So yeah, that's an option I want to fit in there as well. But we shall see. We shall see. But if anyone can recommend any company skins that they think would be worth having, I'll have to let this guy go because I need to be out in that lane. Cheers, pal. Could have moved out. Couldn't you drive? Thanks, mate. Thanks, mate. Asshole. I hate people like that. They could have moved out, but I just choose not to. Bricks. Anyway. So, what's I saying? Yeah, so if you know of any company skins that go on multiple trucks, or maybe haul out, do refrigerated transport out of Europe, let me know, because I usually use Speedy skins, Speedy 143, but if there's anything that you can see out there that, you know, is good, and you think, yeah, this will be the ideal skin, because that's what I want to have really, is a skin for the company so that it starts to look a bit more realistic. I do realise I could make my own, but I just don't have the time to sit there and do that. I'd rather pay someone to do it for me. So if anybody out there watching this does make skins for Euro Truck, please drop a comment on the video so we can get in touch, because it would be great. I'd like to have my very own personalised company skin in the game. So yeah. Go. Little bit of roadworks, nothing major. Breeze through that, and on we go. I know that the speed limit's 80 kilometers an hour for trucks in Germany, but I don't care. I want to do 56, quite frankly. That's another thing that also as well, I think the zero economy, the realistic economy mod does give you. I've turned it off anyway because it's just annoying and impossible when you're starting your own business. But I think the realistic economy mod does give you the option to your speeding fines and you know, traffic light offences. Any offences are actually a lot more realistically priced, so you don't get done £2,000 for, you know, going 1 mile an hour over the speed limit. Oh, shit. Slow that down. So we've got a bit of a smash here, just as we hit the border. There's a few options that are sort of swimming around in my head at the moment. I quite like the idea of setting up out of Spain, actually. I'm not going to lie, I do kind of like that. Because it's like right down southern Europe, and then you can kind of go anywhere. I mean, realistically, if I could do it, then what I want is to set up in all 4 points of Europe. So you have a depot down south, you have a depot up north, you have one in the east, and you have one in the west. And obviously you can run jobs in between, but then you can also run jobs in those areas. It's a way of maximising the profit out of those regions. So yeah, that's something I'll be looking at. Like I said, keeping these trucks fairly basic at the moment. I know the Mercedes has got light bars and everything on it. That's because that's going to be that is going to stay our truck. So that's why I've done it with that. But this DAF and the other DAF that we've got in the company, not entirely certain I'm going to stick with it. Possibly going to get rid of them. So. So I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to really bother putting too much in the way of mods on them. I'm just going to kind of leave them fairly stockish. I mean, I've got Alcoa wheels on this, but that's it. That is literally it. So yeah, not, like I said, not going too OTT with everything in this at the moment. Because you don't need to. What is this guy doing? Come on. I need to get faster. I can't stand people that do that. And then he'll just shoot me. But you can already see, so in the normal game at the moment, these roads are still standard 2012 roads when the game launched. So yeah, this is really upped the quality of the textures and the layout of the road, so you're getting a much more realistic feel now in Pro Mods. So that gives you a demonstration of just what a positive change Pro Mods can make to the game. Which I always think is nice. Like I said, you know, we've got Pro Mods enabled, so it gives you also a bit more challenging in terms of the drops that you have to do. Some you'll get, you just pull up and it's okay, it's being side tipped, or you know, you get to put it on a bay, and then others you saw, you'll see, like, you know, you have small little shops that you need to deliver stuff to, and they're down a tight little street, and there's lots of obstacles around where you've got to drop the trailer off and stuff. So, and then you've got the Aldis and the Lidls with the bays that are down the hill, and you've got to drop stuff down. You know, you've got to back the trailer around and down the hill and stuff, which I've had to do in real life for quite a few Tesco bays actually. I like that. So yeah, it's interesting. It adds to the fun and the realism of the game, I think. So yeah, so we've got some ways to go. Like I say, oh hello, another accident. Stay there, drive. Stay there. There we go. Plenty of accidents today. Dear. If everybody's okay. But yeah, so you've got there's other challenges as well, obviously, and it's kind of another reason why I wanted to bring in the lease trucks idea, so that not every depot that we have would have our own brand new trucks out there, because lease trucks you can move around a lot easier. Because they belong to the leasing company, you don't have to register them against your depots or anything like that. So you can literally just if you open a depot somewhere in a region and it's not really performing well, you can shut up shop and move somewhere else, and you haven't got to fanny around with all of the truck registrations and stuff like that, which you would have to do if you own them. And obviously leasing, all the servicing costs and everything are a lot cheaper. It's often wrapped up in the lease. So it's something I'm considering for real life, to be honest. The only thing is you've got to commit, which means you've got to be certain that your business is going to make enough money to cover the lease every month. Otherwise you're liable for that. So swings and roundabouts at the moment. Yeah, excuse me. Anyway. We are thundering across Czechoslovakia right now. I do like that this game follows the seasons. When you have Pro Mods installed, it follows the time zone, so the sun sets depending on what time of year it is. So if it's in the summer you get the nice long days, but if it's in the winter it gets dark a lot quicker, like it does in real life. So you don't have to have an additional weather mod in, which I find is quite helpful actually. There we go. So we've only got one trailer for the company at the moment, so we need to make that choice. And obviously we've only got flatbeds, because flatbed's one of the only full-size trailers you can get. And I toyed with the idea of getting a container trailer, which I could do. Or like I said, do we get a curtain sider? With that option, there's different choices and options available, but then again it comes with having your own skin, because again the skin you get has got to go on trailers, so you need to make sure that you get the right trailer. So yeah, it's a real sort of toughie at the moment. Trying to decide what to do there. Trying to decide the best thing to do. But we'll see. We should do our best. Good thing is this truck's got the blind spot assist on it. Czechoslovakia in this shift, then it makes things a lot easier. traffic jam up here. That's another thing that I think ProMods does. I think it does traffic around the rush hours, but not to the extent that the real density mod does. I'm tempted to try that. So have a think, let me know in the comments below if you think we should try that in this profile as well, just for a bit of additional realism and also additional challenges as well. Because yes, traffic is one of those things in life you do have to deal with. There will be days where it will test you. Wow, that is busy. We've had a job getting in there. You watch this guy just pull straight out. It's the only thing I don't like about the AI in this game is they don't give way at the slip roads. They just pull straight into the side of you. It's like, no, you should be giving way. Right, mate, what are you doing? What an idiot. Could have caused a massive accident there. Stupid crap. And then they speed off. That's the sort of person that you hope you catch them in a service station. Because yeah, things like that are just stupidly dangerous. Stupidly dangerous. We can tell how heavy this is by how fast it's running downhill. Right. I think we're going to have to pull in at the next rest station. The next service station, we'll have to pull in there and get some sleep, I think. As we're getting close to the end of our shift now. This sound, I think this engine sound is from good old Captain Crikeball, just in case anyone's wondering. Literally the OG of sounds on Euro Truck. Even though I do use a lot of Maxi sounds, the quality of Crikeball sounds are amazing, and he does a lot of them for free. You know, which I think is really kind and generous of him. What always makes me laugh with this community is the expectation that when someone does a mod for free, let me say that again, when someone does a mod for free, off their own bat and out of their own time, people then pile in and comment on it and go, yeah, that's great, but make it for this truck. And it's like, no, these people have done this off their own back for free. If you want to make demands of people, right, for products or whatever, then pay them money to do it. You know, it's this sense of entitlement really winds me up. Because it's just like, no, you should be doing that for free. Do this now, do as I say. And it's like, mate, fuck off. So thank you to all the modders who do make stuff for free for everyone and who place it on the Steam Workshop, like Speedy, like so. Thank you very much for taking the time away from your families and friends to do that. And sorry about the unappreciative fuckwits who constantly make demands. Right, here we go. Oh, look at that, we're just near the Slovakian border as well, so that's actually a right touch. We've come in at the best time. We'll go around the back, see what's around here. Let's have a look. Ooh. We'll squeeze in here. Right. Let's have a look around in here. So yeah, that's where we're going to get our head down. There we go. Nice full night's sleep. Not next to a fridge, although there is one over there. Right, let's finish this drop. Excuse me. A tickly throat. Alright, let's go. Excuse me. Right. That is another thing with pro mods that adds to the realism. So the service stations get busy over night time, because that's the only thing about this game that obviously I think there is a mod you can have that does it, where it will give you busy service stations and it makes it more challenging. Oh dear. But yeah, it will give you busier service stations, because over night time, if you're a tramper and you've been driving all day, certainly in the UK, if you're not parked up in a services by probably I'd say 6:30 at the latest, you're going to struggle to get in. So yeah, you want to bear that in mind. I've had that before now. I was quite lucky actually. I got in probably about 5:20, and then a load of guys in the front row moved off where they must have been on brakes. So before I'd even stuck mine on brake, I rolled it forward and I managed to get past one of the front rows. But yeah, that was fun, because by the time I'd got back from getting myself some dinner, literally the whole truck park was full up, and I remember I was just getting back into the truck, because I was already in the truck. It was summer, because I had the windows open a bit but the curtains drawn. And yeah, I just remember I was getting changed just into some tracksuit bottoms and that t-shirt, just to chill over the night time, get out of the old work clothes and that. And yeah, it was a guy parked just over from me. He was in a tanker, and there was another guy pulling in. The tanker had all of the like walkway and everything like that on the top of it, and like a catwalk and everything. And the guy pulling in, I want to go around this guy because he's a knob cheese. The guy pulling in obviously wasn't watching his headboard in the mirror, and he's come along the side of this truck and he's just this boom 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 as he's pulled the catwalk and the platform off the side of his tanker. And we're all bibbing him, going like, stop, stop, stop. And he's finally realised what he's done, and he was just absolutely losing his shit. And it's like, well, mate, what were you doing? Like, how did you not pay attention to your headboard? That's the thing. Like, this is what happens when you do things too quickly. When you rush and you try and, just get it in. Because, and this is where I will say, I get why tacos keep us legal, but there needs to be a bit of a leeway when it comes to, going over your driving hours or whatever, because you then get drivers panic because they're like, oh, I've got to get in, I've got to get stopped, I must get stopped straight away because I'm already over, I'm going to get in big trouble, you know. And it's like, you won't if you do a printout and explain, you know, reasonable justification. But you get guys it panics people, they rush, and then accidents happen. You know, that could have been avoided if the guy had taken his time putting in there. Now, I'm not saying that it's, you know, the government's fault and that's why he didn't do it. You know, it's, at the end of the day, he's the one driving the truck, so he should have done it. He should have checked, and he didn't, so that's on him. But it does happen. Sharp bend. Just slow down for that. So you don't want to be hitting at 80, you'll go over. It's a very sharp bend. Always think about your load. This is a lot of weight we've got behind us. This is a 24-ton trailer, so this trailer was absolutely stacked. It's the heaviest it can be. As well there, because what you got to remember is when you come into a bend sharp, when you've got a sharp bend, when you come into a sharp bend and you've got a lot of weight on the back, that weight is pushing you, so you're gonna get pushed well off of line if you're coming in too fast, because you're trying to slow down and the weight is pushing you, which means it's pushing the unit out. So you got to think about these things. Try and use your gears to slow down. You know what I mean? Like I said, it's not a race. Lorry driving is a marathon, not a sprint. I know we all have these days where we're like, oh, we've got to get there, we've got to get there, but there's getting there, and then there's having your load go all over the M4, you know what I mean? So just think about what you're doing, take it steady. Don't push it too hard, just stay within reason. That's another mod that we've got in this, that we are running in this series, is the realistic physics mod. So the truck will behave as it would in real life, and under load and everything else. So that's something. Of course, it does bring me to another question, which is, do we do something completely different? Do we not do refrigeration, and do we just do heavy haulage? What does that look like? You know, do we do a company just like that? Just do heavy haulage jobs? That's another thing to consider. I would imagine it will get very samey, because again, the thing with this is when you do jobs like that, it's like forklifts I could understand being delivered to an RDC or something, but why would I go and drop off a combine harvester on a bay at FedEx? I just wouldn't. So that's the only thing that really does need sorting, is how are the loads kind of like assessed, where are they going, what are they doing. So yeah, that needs sorting out. I wonder if there's a mod that does that. I'll have to have a look around, see if there is. If there is, then I'll put that in. I know they were doing a lot of work around that, and it was supposed to be more realistic, but I think they did that in 1.54, where they were like, yeah, you know, the loads are going to be going to more realistic places now and everything else. And it's like, well, that's great, because that was long overdue. We've still got a way to go. To go. Realise just how long a run this was. This could end up being a very long video, this one. Beautiful sunrise. Lights off now. Yes. Here we go. Again, this shows you just how much Pro Mods improves the roads. Slovakia, is that part of the Balkan map? I think it might be, you know, because Bratislava was OG, but I don't think Slovakia was in this before the Balkan map. I need to check my history on that one. I need to check my history on that and find out. View. See, that's another reason why I love driving, just cruising along in a nice comfortable truck. Yeah, alright pal. Cruising along in a nice comfortable truck. Beautiful scenery rolling by outside the window. Come on, mate, come on. Come on. Don't say thank you, will you? Oh no. I've lost a headphone. I've lost a headphone. This isn't good. So I don't know if the microphone's dropped out or not. This could be disaster. would do is have my retarder on full, and I would just be using my exhaust brake. I need to configure that button on here because it's not been done yet. Is it still this? Yeah, that's the exhaust brake. So I should set it up on the steering wheel so I can just reach it with my thumb instead of having to lean across awkwardly and touch the keyboard on my desk. I don't think we're that far away from the drop now. I see the end is in sight. That's what I'd like to see as well, is when they build these things like over time, you know, whenever the updates, a building goes up or a new company gets built, you know, and we have to start delivering out of there, or a new RDC and stuff like that. That would be cool. And then the phasing out of the older RDCs and drops. But yeah, see, the plate doesn't match the trailer to truck, whereas it would in the UK. Because the registration of the truck is basically what covers the trailer in the UK. Whereas in Europe, I think all the trailers are individually registered, so the driver never has to bother. They just jump out, hook up and go. Whereas in the UK, obviously you have to carry a spare number plate with you and take that out and plug it on the trailer. I've come into another locator from here, so didn't even look to see that's where it was going. On that bay over there. Fair bit of freight kicking around in here. Skip in a little bit. Let's get that turning. Nice and slow. Take some off of it. Ooh, what am I hitting here? What am I hitting? Oh dear. That's knackered the front of it, hasn't it? Sneaky bastards. I'm going to have to come back straight. That probably would have done a lot of damage to my side skirt. To come back straight. Keep coming, keep coming, keep coming. Right, now I can swing it around. Shit. See, goes to show why you should pay attention to your surroundings. Because that's what happens. And that would have been a big old bag as well in front of the truck. And I would be annoyed with myself for the rest of the day if I'd done that in real life. Done. Back it in neutral. Oh, just have a look. Yeah, it's pretty much on. Okay then. Well, thanks everyone for watching. Greatly appreciate it. Apologies, it's been a bit of a longer one, but hopefully you've enjoyed it still. And yeah, come and check in on the next episode and see where we're going next and what we're hauling. Thanks very much for watching. Cheers, guys.